Hi guys, welcome to the Aloe Yoga flagship store in Los Angeles. My name is Andrea Bogart and I'm going to take you through a 30-minute prenatal sort of wind down flow, possibly get you ready for bed, has a little restorative postures in it, and just kind of take you down a notch from the day that you may have had. For this 30-minute flow, I'm going to encourage you guys to create a little bit of a setting and a mood for yourself. So maybe it's lighting a candle, maybe it's dimming the lights a little bit. We all know that growing into our pregnancies, there are a lot of worries, a lot of anxieties. Whether this is a practice that can sort of relieve some of those feelings for you and get you more connected to that positivity and light, or it prepares you for bedtime, that's kind of what we're going for. So first, just grab a block. If you don't have a block, again, you can roll up a blanket or a stack of towels. Place that underneath your sit bones. Sit up nice and tall. Let your hips be above your knees, just creating more space for our growing baby. And then again, we're just gonna bring our hands into our tummy and take a few rounds of breath as we just feel the connection. I know for me, it's been really fun and important to connect with the feeling of this baby growing inside. And even if you're not feeling your baby kick or move around yet, you can really connect with the idea that little human is in there. Magic is happening. Take a few rounds of breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. You can maintain that breath throughout this entire flow. If it feels better and you want to connect to your Ujjayi breath, that is always welcome and encouraged as well. So you would breathe in through the nose and out through the nose, letting that rich texture just swirl at the back edge of your throat. Blink your eyes open, sweep the arms up, inhale. And exhale, pull your hands to your heart. So we might just slow things down a little through this practice. Inhale, sweep the arms up. And exhale, hands to your heart. Gorgeous. Grab onto a strap. And if you don't have a strap, you can use a towel. A little hand towel would work great. You just want it to be long enough that you can really create nice wide, deep with your arms. So we're going to release some neck and shoulder tension, which is exactly where our stress likes to hang out. So we're going to take our in-breath as the strap is up over our head, and then allow the shoulders to rotate all the way back behind you. And if you feel like that's really sticky, just lengthen your hands out a little deeper. Inhale all the way back up, and exhale. So we're just creating a nice little gentle flow here. Inhale, and exhale. Inhale, and exhale. Right from here, we're going to keep the strap up over our head. We're going to lift out of the waist, but keep your both sit bones anchoring down. Feel a subtle little lift as you drift over to the right side. Feel your left side body get more spacious. And just a nice, gentle twist over to the right. Good. And then come back up through center. And that little gentle twist over to the left to feel your right rib cage, right sit bone, everything really anchoring down and getting more space. Breathe in, come right back up to the top. You're going to release your left hand and bring your right hand, keeping the strap behind the base of your neck, hugging that elbow in towards your midline. Now take your left hand and weave it around. And if you're really bendy and you can touch your fingertips, you can work them all the way close together on the strap. That's great. If not, that's what the strap is there for, to create some more space with the shoulders. You want to hug that in towards your midline. Continue to breathe in, lifting up through your pelvis, your sternum, your rib cage, just creating space here. And just allowing the shoulders to open up. One more breath here. Good. You're going to release your bottom hand from the strap. You're going to sweep it back up and now just switch. Grab on with the left. Walk that left hand behind the base of your neck and right hand behind your low back. Again, finding that strap, working your hands up. Roll the shoulders down your back. Take a deep inhale. And through this practice, you might even play with just closing your eyes a little bit more, really just hearing your breath, moving in and out through your body. Know that with each inhale and exhale, you're just relieving stress and tension and worry, and really dropping into our pratyahara, that inward turn. Release your bottom arm again. Bring both arms back up. One more time as we stretch that strap across the top. Roll both shoulders back again nice and gently. And reach the arms back up and over. And release that strap down. Set that off to the side. And then come hands right back on top of the knees, resting gently. You're going to just push your heart gently forward and roll yourself around, creating a little bit of a swirl through the torso and the rib cage. And this can also feel like a little rocking motion for your baby inside your belly. And then we just work both ways. Just loosening up through the torso and the ribs. And then right back up through center. Bring your hands in your heart center. Again, if you want to take a moment to set an intention for your practice, maybe it's just something about taking you into a peaceful sleep or releasing all fears and anxieties. And exhale it all out. We're going to come off that block again, so shift yourself forward. However you want to work yourself over onto your hands and knees. We'll bring our blocks with us to keep them handy. Make your way into all fours again. We're going to take the knees out nice and wide. I want you to walk the arms forward. So again, we're going to open up through the thoracic spine. Drop the forehead gently down towards the floor. The arms are out, framing those are the ears. Keep the sit bones up nice and high. And if this feels too deep, you can grab onto a block, place it underneath your forehead, and go here. Really creating some length and space through the spine. Getting a stretch through the back body, through the shoulder blades. And then gently just walk yourself back up to all fours. And set the block off to the side. Stack yourself up. Wrists and shoulders aligned, fingers spread wide, hips and knees aligned. We're going to stretch your left leg straight back. And gosh knows, we do a lot of walking around, so we're going to stretch through our calf here. You're just going to shift your heel back, really getting a deep stretch that should feel gorgeous. In through that calf. One more breath in. Beautiful. Shift it back forward. Release that knee back down. And now stretch the right leg back, and same thing. Just press into that heel. Feel the stretch, not just in the calf, but also through the big toe mound, the arch in your foot. Should feel really nice. Shift back forward, bring the right knee back to the floor. Good, we're gonna take that circular motion all the way around with the hips. So you just start with a little sway side to side, and then hinge the heart forward, smooth circle all the way around. Really great way to just loosen up through the hips. Often that tension and stress wants to ride down our backs and into our hips, and I've personally noticed it shifting kind of from side to side. So creating this circular motion and this sway around with the hips really is going to loosen that up. Come back in through a neutral spine. We're going to stretch our left leg straight back again. Spin that left heel to the floor, ground down through the outer edge. Peel your left arm up to the sky for a modified Vashisthasana or Ardha Chandrasana if you're used to doing that. Breathe in. You're going to take one circular motion with that arm around forward. And then exhale, take it back. Let that left arm reach up and over the ear. And if you want to add your left leg here, not to head into anything too rigorous, but option to just kick through that heel, strengthening a little bit here. Left hand and left foot will come back down, rotate into all fours. Right leg stretches back. Spin that right heel to the floor, ground down through the outer heel. Right arm reaches up. Again, you want to make sure too that your left hip and your left knee are beautifully aligned so that you're not sinking back too far or you're forward. You want to really create that strong foundation. Arm reaches up. Take that circular motion, just loosening up through the shoulders. Arm reaches back over, and then maybe really charging up there, shift the weight slightly as you rise that right leg up. And again, to modify, you just leave your foot on the floor. Breathe into this. And then everything comes back down to the floor, coming into all fours. Good, we're gonna tuck our toes, lift your hips and glide up into downward facing dog. Right away, we're just gonna pedal the feet out a little bit. Again, stretching through the back body. And if it feels a little sticky at all, keep a nice little soft bend in both knees. And maybe even taking your feet a little wider than hip distance can help. And then let's invite in some stillness as we drop the heels both towards the floor. We settle in and we just invite in that quiet, calm state of mind. A few rounds of breath right here. So simple, so effortless. One more full breath. As we exhale, just bend the knees. We're gonna walk it nice and easy up, feet to hands, hip distance apart. Collect opposite elbows and take a little gentle sway side to side. A little softness in the knees is welcome. Release the hands down, bend the knees a little deeper. Interlace those hands behind your low back. Start to straighten up through the legs. Let the arms roll up and over. Head really soft and relaxed. Again, if you need a wider stance, you can take that. If the arms feels like it's too much, you can always grab blocks and feel support here. And maybe even it's just fist to fist behind the back. That can be another modification. Release the hands down, bend the knees, draw the belly in and roll up so slow. Inhale, sweep your arms up. And exhale, hands into your heart. Coming into an early tree pose, we're just going to shift the weight into the right foot and just start little by little. So left heel pops up, and maybe it's just to your left calf today. So we're kind of winding down our day. Completely up to you. If you want to rise it up even higher and pull it inside, that right thigh above the knee, that option is welcome too. Few rounds of breath right here, keeping our steady gaze forward, our dristi, our power point. And then gently bring that left knee forward and set that down. Inhale to reach tall. And exhale, hands to your heart. Shift the weight into your left foot. Give that right heel a pop to start. As you feel your foot rooting down to the earth, feel that hug of that hip coming up to lift the energy, and then finding that balance. And if you catch a breeze, no big deal. Just pop down and pop up as needed. And staying right here is great. If you want to pull it up a little higher, you're welcome to do that. I use my hand to help. Few rounds of breath right here, just breathing into that space. Feeling your thigh press into foot as your foot presses into your thigh. Bring that knee straight forward. Whoa, standing mountain one-legged. Release your right foot down. Bring your inhale up, reach tall, press the palms. Exhale, bring your hands all the way down to your belly and take a moment just to reconnect to that energy. Your growing baby inside. Breathe in. And exhale it out. Blink your eyes open, sit deep and reach high for Utkatasana, chair pose. Right from here, we're just gonna pop our right heel up. We're gonna step it back into a crescent lunge. Big step back. If you wanna modify this, you just drop your right knee gently to the floor. It's a beautiful modification, especially if we're winding down and this feels like it's a little too much. That option is there for you. Just a gentle twist here. Our right hand is gonna lead forward. Our left hand is gonna come to our low back. Let your left shoulder peel open as much as your belly and your body want to make space for. One more breath here. You feel your inner thighs scissoring towards one another. And then release that left arm, swing it back up. Inhale. Exhale, we're just going to goal post those arms for a breath. Reach back up. Inhale. Exhale. Both hands are going to come down to the inside of the left foot. Toe heel your left foot to the outer edge and softly release your right knee down. Again, your block is right here. If you want a little added extension, that can be supportive. So be mindful about what you need, and those should have little smiley faces on them. They're your friends for sure. Pull your heart forward, breathe into this. And then we're just gonna kind of smoothly circle the hips around a little bit. It doesn't feel like a big range of motion. It's just small little circles with the hips. One way, and then the other way. And then right back into center. We're gonna keep our right hand down on the floor. Left arm is gonna reach up to the sky for a breath. Really open up through the heart. Exhale, bring that right back down to the floor. Ride that right knee up off the floor. Lift your tailbone again. We're gonna take a little rock step forward. Right foot outside the left. Inhale, lift your heart. Exhale, fold it back in. Press through the heels, reach your rise all the way up. Inhale. Exhale, collect your hands to your heart. Sit deep and reach high. Feel the weight shift back into your heels. And just notice one thing about chair, it's easy to dump into your knees. So take a little quick peek down. If you can't see your toes, see if you can shift your hips and your shins back another 1/2 inch. And then pop your left toes up, and we're gonna step that way back into your crescent lunge again. Sometimes that's a little wobbly, that's fine, just embrace it. And again, if you wanna modify, that left knee can come all the way to the floor. One more breath here, reach into it. And then a little gentle twist. So we wanna be mindful of twists when we're pregnant. As long as there's space between the legs and you don't feel like you're compressing in on your belly, everything is relatively safe. But again, it's really individual, so just pay attention to that. Roll the shoulder open more if that makes sense. Breathe in. And then sweep that right arm back up. Inhale. Back into that crescent lunge. Exhale, both hands down to the inside of the floor again. Toe heel your right foot to the outer edge of the mat. Release that left knee down. And this time I'll just demonstrate with my hands on the block so you can see that again. Heart pulls forward. And then just start to take a little bit of a circle motion around with the hips. And then the other way. Beautiful. And then right down the middle. From here, we'll start to straighten that leg again. Lift the tailbone, maybe strong through that front leg if it's available. Take that rock step forward outside the hands. And now we're gonna use a block too. Coming into Malasana, a deep yogi squat. So if your hips are really nice and open and you're a seasoned practitioner, it might be really easy to just drop down, feel the elbows and the knees press into one another. If this feels really challenging for the hips and you feel the heels popping way up, you might want to take the feet a little bit wider than the mat, and elbows can come to your thighs. Or the other variation is to use a block, place it underneath your sit bones, let it feel like a bit of a resting point, elbows and knees, finding that resistance, hands into your heart center. And the tendency is to feel your shoulders really collapse forward. So we want to roll out of that, lifting your heart, feeling your thumbs at your heart center, and just creating a nice space here to breathe into your body. And this is not unlike, what we might get ready for our birthing position. So get comfy here, find a happy place. Few rounds of breath. And then gently blink the eyes back open. Press your palms down. We're going to use the strength of the legs to lift up. Walk yourself back into your downward facing dog again. And feel the sit bones just lift and widen, creating some space. We're going to inhale your right leg up to the sky. Gently bend into the knee. And now start to weave that right knee open. Just getting a hip opener here. Breathe into that. Keep equal pressure through your palms. Left heel is sinking towards the floor. And now inhale that right leg back. And exhale, release that down to the floor. We're going to inhale forward to a plank position, and right away we're going to release the knees down. Not to intensify things as we're trying to wind down. Use the modification of the knees. One more breath here. And then shift it up and back right into downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg up to the sky. Gently bend the knee, drive the hip open. You can play with rolling the ankle or flexing and pointing the toes, anything that feels good. And again, pressing equally through both palms. Extend that leg straight back, finding the square hip, and then gently bringing the foot back down to the floor. And we'll rock our way into plank again, top of a push-up, softly releasing those knees right away. Heart stays forward, collarbones are wide. One more breath. And then exhale, just shift yourself back to all fours, bringing yourself all the way back onto your heels for a breath here. Roll the shoulders down your back. And then we're going to come up into Camel Pose, Ustrasana, so you can lift up onto the knees. Work the heels of your hands around to support the low back. Roll the shoulders back, lift your heart, inhale. As you lift your heart, your hips are naturally going to just drive forward, but we don't want to push them. We want to allow it to naturally happen. And then exhale, bring your gaze back forward. Release your hands down and bring yourself back into that seated posture. And then from here, just work your way back onto hands and knees. Tuck those toes again. Lift your hips, downward facing dog. Let's work through one more nice sun salutation. Inhale the heels up high. Bend the knees deep. Look forward. Walk the feet up to the hands. Hip distance or wider. Inhale, lift your heart. Exhale, fold it back in. Press through the heels, reach to rise. Inhale. And exhale, hands collect to your heart. One more time. Inhale. Exhale, dive and fold forward. Inhale, lift your heart. And exhale, fold it back in. Beautiful. Bend the knees deep, roll it up slow. All the way to stand. Bring your hands to your hips. I'm going to take one more little standing series. Take your right foot, step it back about 3 or 4 feet. Again, we're in that warrior one sort of heel to heel alignment. Grounding down through both heels, the weight is evenly distributed. Hips are nice and square to the front edge of your mat. Bring both arms up on an inhale. And as you exhale, we're going to bring the hands down, framing that front heel. I'm going to lunge forward to grab my blocks to really create more space and length through the spine. So unless you're really bendy, even if you are, going to the floor might be a little bit too much. So you want to keep some space between the tummy here. One more breath here, just pyramid stretch, forward fold, but we're going to keep that elongated neck and spine. So we're just lengthening, creating some space. And then from here, we're going to put a little bend in that front leg. We're going to walk the right toes back a little bit more. Keep your block outside your left toes. And now start to straighten through that front leg and peel your right arm up for triangle pose, Trikonasana. Nice, beautiful stretch through the waist and the side body. You want to keep drawing your left hip down and back. And if you're anything like me and you kind of have those hyperextending joints in your body, you want to really be mindful about a little whisper of a bend so that you are creating muscles around your ligaments and not stacking that bone-on-bone compression. One more breath. Beautiful. Bring that right hand down to your hip. Just start to rotate your hips back forward. Grab onto your block for support. Step it forward. Inhale to lift your heart. Exhale to fold back in. Press through the heels. Reach to rise. Inhale. And exhale, hands all the way down to your hips. We'll step that left foot back about 3 or 4 feet. Again, heel to heel alignment. So you might toe heel your right foot over a little bit. Feel the heart lift. Sweep the arms up. Inhale. Exhale as you start to reach forward. You might lunge like I'm going to do. Grab your blocks to place them down. Let the chest just start to fold towards the thigh, but again, really creating that length in your spine. You want to feel as though you had a thumb kind of wrapped and pressing into that right hip, keeping the hips nice and square. And to achieve that whisper of a bend behind your knee, you can just press into your big toe mound. One more breath. And then spinning into our triangle pose on our right side. Keep your right block where it is or shift it back slightly. Walk your left toes back or squiggle them back a little bit more. And then straighten through your right leg. Peel your left hand to the hip if you want to modify. All the way up to the sky if that feels okay for the neck and shoulder. Any variation of your neck is welcome here too. If you're really expansive and that feels good, you can look up. A little stiff through the neck, or you just don't feel like that's where you need to be, you can take it to the side or even all the way down. Keep scissoring your right hip back towards the left. Big expansive breath to breathe in. Exhale, we're going to rotate the hips back. Take a little rock step forward. Inhale to lift your heart. Exhale, softly fold back in. Beautiful. From here, you're going to walk yourself way back into downward facing dog. And let's bring it into the floor to some really nice restorative stuff. Walk the knees a little bit forward. You're going to bring yourself into seated. And then I'm going to grab onto the bolster. And you're going to take your legs out wide into a straddle. And if one bolster is not enough for this, you can get creative. You can stack your blocks up. You can grab some towels. Whatever you need here. And as wide as you want to take your straddle, your toes are going to flex. You're going to feel your inner thighs wrap back. And depending on how much space you need for your belly here, you might scoot that out a little bit. And then reach both arms up. Inhale. And exhale. Bring your hands to your heart. And then gently, you're just going to kind of work your way forward onto a resting point here. And if the blocks is too much, you can take that down. If this feels like you're a little more bendy and you just want to wrap into this. Might seem crazy to go this far forward. So again, towels, blankets, anything that's going to sort of let your chest rest to your range of motion. You can even use your forearms here and feel supported like this. Last few breaths. Just think of we're starting to dip our bodies into our Shavasana. Really bringing it down the home stretch. A few rounds of breath. And then gently just bring your chin back. Work your way back up nice and easy. Gently going to just shift that block or the bolsters off to the side. Bring both legs back. You're going to still keep a little hip distance apart here. Pull your right foot high up into your thigh. And if you need a strap here, or you can use your towel again, you might flip it over your left foot. Lift up nice and tall. And for those of you who might feel extra sticky down your hamstrings, just sitting up nice and tall might be enough. If you feel like you want a little bit more, you can work your way down the strap and let yourself kind of fold into it. And again, we just want to be mindful of this space for our belly and let your right knee feel heavy to the floor. And then gently work your way up from this. And then we'll shift into the other side. Right leg extends, pull that left foot high up into the thigh. Take the hands in the strap, collect it over that foot, lift your heart, inhale. And we want to always think like we're keeping more space in our spine. Neck is level with it, keeping things properly aligned. Smooth breath in and out here, staying so connected to that deeper sense of self. Really inviting in that light, that strength, your courage, all of those beautiful things that it takes to really maintain that positive attitude, free of worry and stress during our pregnancy. Walk yourself back up. And then gently, we're gonna bring the soles of the feet together into Baddha Konasana, sitting upright. Let's try taking the block or even the bolster, anything that would elevate your heels up a little bit. Letting the knees feel heavy and just creating almost like a little bowl here for your tummy to just collapse into. So we'll start to drip the heart forward, stay long through the spine. If it makes sense and you wanna weave the arms underneath and grab around the block, you can take that. Breathe in here for a few breaths. Let each inhale and exhale just soften you and melt you heavier towards the floor. Think of that beautiful, peaceful sleep that you're going to get tonight. And then gently rock yourself back up from this. And we'll separate the feet. Take that block and shift it off to the side. Work your way forward a little bit on your mat. And then again, as we come down to Shavasana, you want to try to pile some blankets up, especially if in your second or third trimester. Again, if you're in your first still, it's perfectly safe to come down to your back. We're going to work our heels towards our sit bones here. We're going to take just one little lift through the pelvis. It's like a supported bridge pose, just a little tiny lift. Let the back kind of level out and then drop the hips back down. You're going to take your knees as wide as the mat and let your arms come out to a T and just let a big little windshield wiper happen with the legs here. And if you walk your left toes back a little bit, you can even get more into that under glute and the quad. Another nice, just gentle twist. Come back through center. Again, the feet are as wide as the mat. Can give a little shift of the hips if that helps. Let the knees drop over to the left. Either stay right here if you want a little bit more. Walk your toes out, your right toes, and just breathe into that. And then come right back through center. Beautiful. And then we're going to slide one hand to your heart, one hand to your belly. Going to walk the heels out. Let the feet flop open heavy. Take a full breath in again, really connecting to your baby. Mine's kicking right now. And exhale it out. Always when I want to go to Shavasana, she gets a little rowdy. Roll your shoulders down your back. And just feel the magic of that. When you start to feel that, there's nothing like it. Allow yourself to fully come into your Shavasana, letting go of all controlled breath, expression on your face. Just feel your body melting into the floor. Notice if the tongue is at the roof of your mouth and see if you can just release it. And have a moment of just letting that self-love and compassion and gratitude wash fully over you. And then slowly, mindfully, no rush to go anywhere, staying so peaceful in thought. Just brush your thumbs over your four fingers, maybe a little motion with your toes. Gently just walk the heels back, maybe reach the arms. And then pull yourself into a fetal position over onto your left side. You can stay on the bolster too if that feels good. And then press yourself back up to seated. Keeping your eyes closed, you stay really in that zone of peacefulness and quiet and relaxation. Bring your hands down to your belly. Thank your little baby for doing everything that it did, showing up for you in your practice today. Each and every day you decide to come to this space to connect. Bring your hands up to your heart. Bow your head and truly thank yourself for your hard work, for your courage, for your bravery. And the divine light in me shares and honors that same special divine light in you. Thank you. Namaste.